A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant shift, the Trump administration has dramatically altered the U.S. State Department's 2024 Human Rights Report, softening criticism of key allies like El Salvador and Israel, while ramping up scrutiny of countries such as Brazil and South Africa. This year's report, which was released months late, reflects a clear alignment with the administration's America First values, according to sources within the government. The report has introduced new categories such as life, liberty, and security of the person, but has drawn criticism for its lack of focus on critical issues such as LGBTQ+ rights and women's rights, which were prominent in previous editions under former President Joe Biden. The report's introduction has been condensed to a single page, significantly reducing the amount of statistical data presented, and individual country analyses are, on average, only one-third the length of prior reports. Notably absent are discussions on discrimination against women and LGBTQ individuals, raising concerns among human rights advocates. Instead, the report highlights the erosion of freedom of speech in Europe and criticizes Brazil and South Africa, both of which have been at odds with the Trump administration over various issues. The section on Israel has also been notably shortened, failing to mention the severe humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where recent military operations have resulted in thousands of casualties. The report claims there are no credible reports of significant human rights abuses in El Salvador, despite previous concerns raised by human rights organizations regarding the government's crackdown on dissent and harsh prison conditions. Amnesty International has condemned the report, stating it purposefully fails to capture the alarming human rights abuses occurring in various countries. The Council for Global Equality has even taken legal action against the State Department, alleging manipulation of the report's content. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has publicly stated that the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor has been reoriented to focus on Western values, a move that critics argue undermines the integrity of the human rights reporting process. In Brazil, the report describes a decline in human rights conditions, particularly regarding the suppression of free speech, especially against supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro, who is currently facing trial for alleged attempts to overturn the 2022 election results. Similarly, the report indicates that South Africa's human rights situation has worsened, citing troubling steps toward land expropriation and further abuses against racial minorities. This marks a departure from previous reports that found no significant changes in the country's human rights landscape. The report's findings reflect a broader trend of the Trump administration's foreign policy, which has often prioritized political alliances and partnerships over the promotion of human rights. Critics argue that this approach not only undermines the United States' moral authority on the global stage, but also emboldens authoritarian regimes that violate human rights with impunity. As the world grapples with increasing misinformation and a barrage of competing narratives, the need for quality journalism and transparency in reporting on human rights has never been more critical. The alterations to the 2024 Human Rights Report raise pressing questions about the integrity of U.S. foreign policy and its commitment to upholding human rights standards globally. Advocates for human rights will continue to scrutinize the implications of this report and its potential impact on international relations and the global fight for justice and equality. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.